Okay, I think we are good to start. So we already have over 50 people in the audience. Welcome everyone. I'm sure more people will join soon, but just to not waste Luis's time, we can go ahead. And so for everyone who is new here, Luis is the CEO and founder of Mawari, and we have a pleasure today to ask him some questions, get some interesting information about the future of Mawari and of course the awaited DIO. I see a ton of people joining. So let's get right into the introduction for those who don't know Luis yet. Luis, could you tell us a bit more about your background and your role at Mawari?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming here. Really excited to be here. So, what's my role at Mawari? Well, I started the company um, about, oh, wow, in 2017. So, it's been a while. It's almost 8 years now. And my role and vision to from just creating vision, execution. I mean, we started as a 3-person startup. Now we are quite 10 times bigger. So yeah, I mean, general, making sure that we fulfill our vision. That's probably my main job. I would say. And about myself, well, I'm originally from Mexico, but been living in Asia since 2011. So yeah, I've been mainly based in Asia.
Awesome. We just crossed 110 people in the audience, so quite a lot of people
Nice.
joining. Welcome everyone. Luis just gave his quick introduction, and now for new people in the community, because recently we've had a ton of new people join. If you could just quickly share, Luis, a bit general details about Mawari, like what is Mawari and what's its vision?
Okay, so this time let's start with a different approach. I'll test sharing screen, and I will explain with a couple of slides because I'm sure there's new people here to just kind of like a quick Mawari 101. So it would be cool um so for everyone to get to see this. Okay, so let me see. Show windows.
Awesome, great idea.
Mhm.
And then for people in the
Okay.
chat, if you have any questions, we'll get to community questions at the end of the AMA. So don't worry about that. You don't have to send the questions yet. I'll mention later when it will be time to send your questions, and Luis will try to answer as many of those as we can in that time that we have committed for the town hall.
Okay. Let's try again because I don't think it worked. So okay, share this window. Tell me if you see the the
We don't see
slides.
it yet. Okay, we don't see it yet.
Just share. Okay. Let's see. Let's try this. How about now?
Still, we don't see it.
Oh, come on. Do I need to activate any permissions here? Because I mean, it's basically selecting. Hmm.
You're on a PC, right? Or on a Mac?
Yeah, I'm on a Mac.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm on a screen share. Make selection. I select the window,
Mhm.
and it ain't working. Okay, let's try a different approach. Let me just share our website, which anyway is a
Maybe
very good.
maybe you can send the link to me, and I'll just switch the slides when you tell me to.
Yeah, it's in Keynote, so not gonna work.
Oh, okay.
Okay, j- just that's fine. Okay, so what is Mawari network? Um, my my vision started back in the old days when actually I first tried the Virtual Boy, and then I started playing on the internet. But there was always this um, vision of that the internet will become 3D at some point in time, and yeah, and wondering, okay, so how the internet will work when everything is in 3D. So more formally, after um, after we started working with KDDI back in 2018, they came to us with a very interesting problem, which was, okay, so how do we stream 3D into AR classes? So in short, what we created at Mawari is a content delivery network that has specialized or bespoke infrastructure for extended reality. So that's in short what Mawari network is. And the vision is to make this to accelerate the arrival of this 3D internet or immersive internet future, and to make it accessible to everyone. Arnie, you may be on mute if you're wanting to
Sorry,
ask a follow-up
I
question.
had a I think I didn't hear you for a second there, sorry. But I hear you now. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a try. Go to the main Mawari website, please, and try
mhm,
to share a screen.
okay. Okay, got it. Sharing my screen a second. Okay, can you see it? Let me know if you see
No.
my
Okay. I see.
I think
Yeah.
it's working, yeah.
It's loading now.
Okay, let's wait 10 seconds and it should be fine. Okay, I see that people can see it, so I think we can go ahead. Okay, which tab should I open?
Okay. It's just the general website, but then I think it's my computer because I don't see your stream. Okay, this is very bad. Um, okay, so let me go deeper into the vision. So I will explain what's the problem that we are solving. So when back in 2018, when we started working with KDDI, they asked us, okay, we have a digital human, which is an avatar that looks hyper realistic in Unreal Engine, and it was powered by an AI backend. So literally, it was an avatar powered by AI in which you could have a conversation. Back in 2018, when we didn't have ChatGPT, that was kind of like very futuristic, very forward thinking. And KDDI, as is a telco, of course wanted to use 5G for this. So they say, well, we want to deliver this digital human to smart glasses and to smartphones, and it's not possible. Why? Because the computation required by actually rendering a hyper realistic human and also processing all the AI backend, it was impossible to do it on a smart glass or on a smartphone. So in short, the challenge was, okay, so how do we stream real-time 3D content that is generated and rendered on spot versus just a simple image? That's when, after a lot of experimentation, by the way, we won the RFP, meaning we were able to create the technology to stream this digital human into smart glasses. We won that RFP against Google, Accenture, and other big companies. And but that's when we realized, okay, so the infrastructure that we have today was not built to distribute 3D at scale. It was built, and it took 20 years to build, to distribute pictures and videos. So that's great, but what about 3D XR content? Who can do that? It was not possible, and this is for several reasons. So as I said, there's a lot of computation required to render high quality 3D that also has an AI backend. So the only way for this to actually happen in real time while making your smart glasses as slim as a Ray-Bans is to offload all that processing and compute to to a close by server. So that means that a lot of computation or servers need to be around their end users to achieve that goal and provide the service. So this is exactly what we realized. Okay, there's no network that can achieve that back in 2018, and there is no framework to also do it. So the two key insights that we learned is that, okay, so to distribute 3D content in real time, we do not only need to distribute the pictures and the videos across a CDN, but we also need to distribute the computation, because by distributing the compute power, actually you can have, yeah, close to the end user, 3D rendering, AI inferencing, etc., etc. That's what we realized very early. We focus on solving how to stream 3D in real time. We spent more than 6 years in R&D, and now we have a lot of proprietary technology patented, and so we figure how to break that bottleneck. And back in 2020, 2021, just right after the pandemic, we started broadening the company to the US and other markets, and partners like T-Mobile were like, okay, so your technology is great, but can you really scale it to 100,000 users or more? And at the time, we were, I would say, very naive, thinking, oh, okay, the hyperscalers will help us solve this problem. They have unlimited resources and unlimited scale. And to our big surprise, it wasn't that way. because having distributed compute at the scale of delivering content in the internet is something that they haven't built. They have most of their GPUs in centralized locations, so that means that the round trip latency is not optimal to reach end users when you talk about real time rendering. So that was a big a- aha moment, but a big problem because we could have the choice to just stay in stealth mode and wait, or but we decided to try to solve the problem on our own. And this is exactly when we realized, okay, so if we need to distribute compute, but we don't have the same amount of resources and money as Amazon and Google, what's the best way to achieve the goal in a shorter time? And this is when I was looking into Web3, got inspired by Helium, got inspired by Render Network, just by the fact that seeing through the power of the community, it's we are able to really fast bootstrap an existing supply of for a network. That's when we decided to embark full on Web3, and we have the Mawari network now. So this, what I can say for everyone is that um, we are very unique in the sense that we enter Web3 because Web3 and is the way to solve the problem that we have. Why? Because having distributed compute across cities readily available worldwide cannot be solved by many third parties joining hands together. So even through technologically and theoretically, a distributed network can be built, cost billions of dollars. So through Web3, we can align incentives and align everyone towards the same goal and bootstrap the supply much easier. And here we are. And the first step is actually the DIO of the Guardian nodes.
Awesome. That was a very detailed explanation. I hope everyone paid attention. But for those who didn't catch anything or might not be able to remember everything, we will have the AMR recording. So don't worry about that. You will be able to listen to everything again. And to follow up on what you mentioned, Luis, you've been building Mawari for so many years now. You've been a truly OG in the Web3 space. It's very rare that projects manage to run for so long and not run out of the runway and deliver a proper technology after so many years of development. So after so many years of product making, what makes it the perfect time to go live with the DIO?
Okay, so why it is the right timing? That's a great question. Yes, we've spent a lot of time working on the technology because it didn't exist and it needed to exist. But you know, I'll put it in very simple terms. So two technologies that we have had in our lives as part of the pop culture um, since since we were kids is both the extended reality XR or augmented reality, however you want to call it, and and AI. So quick examples. I mean, for AI, The Matrix, Terminator, all of them dystopias in which the machines take over us. And when we watched those movies, we actually thought, wow, that future looks quite far away. And yeah, it's maybe yes, humans will be conquered by robots, but it's not going to happen when I'm alive, right? Uh, but then ChatGPT came, and it was a slap in in the face to everyone. It's like, oh wow, this future that we were thinking it was science fiction is much sooner than we expected. And now some people use ChatGPT every day, and it's becoming parts of our daily lives. So it is exactly the same for extended reality. People that are not involved in this day to day don't realize how close we are. And what I can tell you by actually actively being a professional in the XR industry for now close to 13 years is that actually um, we're very close to that ChatGPT moment that AI had. That's going to happen within the next 2-3 years, and to be able to scale our network and be the de facto the Akamai of XR as some of our media and investors calls us, we need to prepare for that. And this is why we're starting the DIO now. It's early, but not too early. It is just the right timing. And I can tell you also that because you mentioned just specifically to Web3 that we have survived. If we think about XR, I founded the company in 2017. There have been also 3 cycles since then for XR. And there are only a few companies that I can count with the fingers in my hand that are still alive that were founded in 2017 from the XR industry. So we've seen everything go up, down, what works, what doesn't work. And we have close relationships with telcos, with chip makers like Qualcomm, device makers. So we see we know what's coming. And not sure if you've seen that Meta is finally releasing the first pair of AR glasses with a display for the consumer. Apple released the Vision Pro, but they are hurrying up as well. Samsung will also release some devices this year. So the race has started. Think about like there was a race with the MP3 players and the smartphones. It has started. The technology for the glasses is getting better and better. And it will be just a matter of time that we have that killer application. And when that happens, that killer application needs to scale, and Mawari will be there for it.
Beautiful. That definitely seems like a perfect timing after all that time put into release a high quality product. It's time to take it to the next level and make sure that Mawari leads the cycle and leads the in the market share, because what you just mentioned means that those huge companies are trying to look into that technology, but they aren't ready yet. So I guess that's a huge advantage that Mawari has right now.
Correct. And if you're curious enough, please look into this company, Akamai. Akamai currently still powers 30% of the internet as a content delivery network. But why that happens? Yeah, because they were first to market and they were early enough with their vision. So we have a very similar storyline. So, for example, Akamai started in 1995. The founder had the vision that okay, so when they when 1 million people wants to access the same website, what will happen? The servers will crash, and nobody really paid attention to them until 5 years later, when Yahoo actually told them we want to stream a baseball game through this website, and yeah, we need to solve the load of traffic and delivery to everyone. And Akamai was ready, and then the rest is history. They are one of the, although not many people know about them, they're one of the biggest internet companies in the world. So it was just about timing and understanding that that future problem would come, and nobody was paying attention to it. So I can very confidently say is that that's exactly the same case with Mawari. We we've been on this since a long time ago, but we realized that of a very big problem that at the time was not important for any of the big tech or any player. And the more we get close to that inflection point when XR is mainstream, the more evident this problem will become.
Beautiful. So we're really looking at a revolution here in technology. Very interested to see how it plays out, and knowing that the DIO will be one of the first huge milestones in the release of Mawari's products. Could you share some more details about DIO, such as what will be the price, what will be the supply of nodes, and how people can get, involved with that?
Sure. Okay, so let's start with the Guardian nodes. What are the Guardian nodes? Just as any network, we need to first secure the network. And in blockchain, there's different ways to achieve that: validators, verifiers, and you call it. So in the case of the Guardian nodes, specifically for Mawari network, they actually ensure the network integrity and secure the operations. They actually also help measure the performance of other nodes in the network, and by that, it helps us optimize. So that's in a nutshell the crucial role of the Guardian nodes. Because as we are building a decentralized system, um, without um, without having these guardians, I mean, the quality of service wouldn't be to the level that we needed. Because here we're talking about that we will be competing with big tech, right? And an end user expects their content to be streamed and delivered to them without any flaw. So we don't have that excuse that, oh, because we're early or we're Web3, the service level agreement or the uptime is not 99.9%. But as a matter of fact, when we achieve that scale, if you look at Bitcoin hasn't been offline since years. Their uptime is 100%, which is actually better than hyperscalers. So that's the paradigm here in that sense, that the Guardian nodes will are just that backbone that will allow us to eventually, have a very secure and resilient network that will be able to scale to the needs of 3D content in the near future.
Beautiful. So the nodes will basically power the whole ecosystem and will allow everyone to one, help make it secure, to make sure it doesn't go down, and three, of course, earn rewards, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, that's the outcome or the result. Of course, if you're a Guardian node runner, you will be rewarded for your efforts, and that's normal in any network. And yeah, we as part of the DIO, I mean, the DIO is also our own interpretation of scaling our network. So yeah, so just rewinding a little bit, DIO means decentralized infrastructure offering, and by this is an invitation for everyone to provide their compute resources and help us build the network of the future. So as part of this invitation, of course, we have limited seats, and the people that join us in this first phase, of course, will be rewarded for being with us since the beginning. So we have two different type of rewards. We have the network activity rewards. What does this mean? That when the network provides a service to the consumer, obviously there are fees that are paid to the network. So from those fees, 20% goes to as a share to the guardian nodes. So that's how you get rewarded from the get-go. So it's not so much Web3, it's more kind of like a normal Web2. Okay, so you do some work, we get paid, and we give you part of that for your effort, right? So that's the network monitoring rewards. But as we need to simulate the network and be ready for that inflection point that will happen in 2-3 years, not only with the existing demand, but we need to start doing tests at scale. So for helping us do these tests at scale and optimize the network so that we know how it will behave in a few years, of course, you also get rewarded. That doesn't come from the network fees. So that comes directly from the token pool. So it's a 3-year program in which we designated 11% of the token pool that once you run your Guardian node, and you operate your Guardian node and complete the tasks that are required, you will get your reward for performing those tasks.
Awesome, awesome. So we touched on that in the last AMA, but just for new people, um, will everyone be able to run the nodes on their hardwares? And will there be a possibility to delegate the nodes to service providers that will run it for people?
Mhm. I would suggest that on the next AMA, we invite our head of network to be more specific about the technical details. I will talk at a high level. One of the objectives of our DIO and what we're building is to make it accessible to most of the people with a low barrier of entry. So a short answer is that for Guardian nodes, the hardware requirements are not that uh, that strict. So it means that most of the people will be able to run a Guardian node. What was the second question? Sorry, I lost track
Yeah, yeah,
of
sure.
that one.
Will it be possible to delegate the nodes to a service provider that will run the node for a buyer?
So yes, we have a couple partners that will be announced soon. So if you don't have the means to run the node yourself, you will be able to work with a delegation partner, and you will have the same outcome.
Awesome. So it means even if someone has like worse a worse computer, or they just don't know how to run a node, you can still take part, you can still participate, and you can just delegate the node to a service provider who will run it
Mhm.
for you, and you don't have to worry about the technical side if you're not into that. Um,
Correct.
awesome. So let's get into some details for the community. Could you share the price of the node and the supply of the nodes, or is that not a time yet? I believe the price was shared already, but I know the supply hasn't yet.
Yeah, the price is 333, and yeah, it has been shared. And also, if you check our documentation, the initial supply is 300,000 nodes. It's also written there.
Okay, so there will be plenty nodes for the community to get involved and to power the future of Mawari.
Correct. And I will clarify, this seems like a lot, but you will soon realize in a few weeks that it's not a lot, because here we're aiming to power the entire internet. So this is an opportunity for people that wants to help us in this early stage only.
And as you mentioned, the Mawari is basically leading the charge, leading the development in this whole new market, which means that you could potentially onboard millions and millions of people, ahead of those huge companies, or have a huge market share in that sector. So that means, looking at millions and millions of users, the 300,000 isn't that much.
Correct. That's
Um,
precisely it.
Awesome. Could you walk us through the dual reward system for the Guardian node operators and let us know how does it scale over time?
Sure. Okay, so as I mentioned, the early operator incentives and then network monitoring rewards. So the network monitoring rewards are rewards earned by providing work for jobs that are generated from our existing clients and demand. So in short, is 20% of up to 20% of the revenue share that comes into the network gets redistributed across Guardian nodes. The second one is early operators incentives. Those actually come from the token pool. And the reason why they exist is because we need also the help of the Guardian nodes to help us simulate the network at scale. So to be ready for when the inflection point of XR happens. That is a 3-year program in which, as long as you keep running your node, you will be eligible to earn those rewards by providing work. We have 3 different plans, and each one is distinct. So what this means is that plan number 1 has more allocation of the network monitoring rewards and very little allocation of the early operator incentives. So this plan is basically for a very if you want to run a node for a very long time and you see the potential of the future of the immersive internet. Then for those that are still deciding and seeing where the immersive future is going to take us, we have the plan 3, in which it has a good balance of early operator incentives and network monitoring rewards. So that plan is good for a trial to help us catalyze the network. And then we have the plan number 2, which is basically an in between plan 1 and plan 2.
Awesome. Thanks for the explanation. Before we get to the AMA part, which is, everyone will be able to ask their questions, would you like to add anything from your side, Luis, or can we get into that?
Um, well, I would just say that just reiterating that this is the right timing to actually join a network that will potentially change how the internet is delivered. It's a unique opportunity. We've been working very hard and preparing for this moment, so I'm really excited actually that finally it's coming to life.
I'm very excited too. Myself, I've been learning a lot about Mawari in last few weeks since I got involved, and to be honest, at first didn't quite understand what exactly Mawari is building. But the deeper and deeper I got, the more I realized it's just a completely new technology, which is, it's always hard to make people see the vision because it's something completely new. But when you realize how big is the potential, it's actually pretty crazy. So very excited for the node cell, very excited for the network to run soon and to watch Mawari grow, because when you pull it off, it's not an if for me. When you pull it off, it will be huge. And we might now, just like everyone was, for example, that's what I experienced, being in NFTs in 2021 when everyone was saying we're early, it's a completely new technology, and then you saw a huge run of NFTs, which was, of course, was completely different thing, completely different technology. It didn't stay quite as hype because there was no like real utility, real technology that would make people use it in their day-to-day life, at least not yet. But if you have a closer look at Mawari, it could be something that just everyone will be using some years from now. And it's starting now, so that the revolution is here. I'm very excited to be here for it and to experience it, and I hope everyone here is. I'm looking at the audience, and the number of people have been growing since the start of the stream. We're almost at 200 people now, so um, great to see you everyone here. We're here with Luis, the CEO of Mawari, and I think it's the time for the community questions. So if you have any questions, you can go to the AMA questions chat. I will have a look there, and we will get a few of those for Luis. And since we're planning an AMA with the head of technology at Mawari, maybe let's make the questions a bit less about like exact details of technological details of running a node. Maybe let's focus more on the Mawari's vision and the next steps, the roadmap. Um, okay, so I'll look at the questions now. Luis, if you want to add anything, go ahead, and I'll get back to you in a minute.
Yeah, no, all good. Also looking at the questions right now.
That's I see a ton of very interesting questions. The first one that stood out for me, which is very interesting, I think, is as XR content becomes more compute intensive and immersive, how does Mawari plan to balance between decentralization and the need for powerful edge hardware, especially in regions where high performance devices are rare or expensive?
Okay, so that's a fair question. Okay, so computing will um, increase exponentially in the next few years. That means that not everything can be clustered in centralized data centers. That's one point. There will be this need to distribute the compute across geographies where the end users need it. So it's an answer to the first part. To the second part, uh, well, yes, we've been building the streaming technology to be a very lightweight format because that's something that we realized early that 5G and networks are never perfect, and so there are some areas that are inaccessible or with lower bandwidth, etc., etc. So of course we have foreseen those problems, and we designed the architecture and the technology in a way that will be possible to mitigate some of those issues. I mean, even still with the current internet, if you don't have a bandwidth, you cannot watch Netflix, right? Unless you download the content. So there, it's not going to be how can I say, like the compute will be distributed. There will be enough robust networks, and things were designed for the optimal performance. So that has been our vision. Now it's just about executing the scale part, which is attracting node operators.
Awesome. If you see any other questions that you would like to answer, you can go ahead. I'm going through them right now. There's a lot of questions that already have been mentioned earlier when Luis was speaking. So for those that joined late or didn't get to catch anything, we will post the recording of this AMA so you can go through it in your free time and find a lot of answers to many of those questions. But the next one, which I see is very interesting, and I don't think it was mentioned, is how does the upcoming DIO position Mawari competitively against centralized cloud rendering services like AWS or Google Cloud for XR applications?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So Mawari is, and the DIO positions Mawari uniquely for two reasons. One, as I mentioned, it gives us the speed and agility to move faster than the hyperscalers, and two, it gives us that global distribution that is still missing with the hyperscalers. On top of that, it will be the only network with proprietary technology for 3D streaming. We have had, actually, as I mentioned, some battles in the past with the hyperscalers and the likes, and clients have actually chosen our technology over them because what I can tell you is that right now it's too early, so they are not really focused on building something for XR. They are chasing AI. The good news for us is that when they start chasing XR at the scale of that they're doing it with AI, it will be too late because we will already be with the scale and the market share that it will be difficult for them to take it away from us.
Yeah, perfect. Someone else is asking, I'd like to support the project. Can I still participate if I live in Japan? Also, what is the best way to contribute to Mawari?
So for the Guardian nodes, yes, of course, we are looking for global partners. So of course, in Japan is fine, but just anywhere you're located is actually good. So how can you support? Well, just like you said, Barney, that that it was at first maybe a bit difficult to understand Mawari because it's new technology. So something that I would appreciate and it would be very helpful is that if you believe in us, just spread the word, spread the message because yeah, like what we're building is not something trivial, but it's really it is a social movement in the end. So you feel really identified with us. That's the way you can help us spread the message.
Beautiful. So everyone can get involved. There's a ton of people in the audience. We're almost at 200 people. I know that many of you just joined, so the Mawari account you're listening to is actually Luis, the founder and CEO of Mawari. And today we went over, everything about the Mawari vision, about what has been happening for the last 7 years that Mawari has been developing, and of course the details about the upcoming node sale. So if you're just joining us now, you don't have to worry. We will publish the recording of the AMA, and you can enjoy the last part, which is we'll probably take like one more question. So Luis, do you see any question that is interesting for you and you would like to answer, or should I pick something?
Sure. Let me pick this time.
Okay.